If you're waking up at night with leg cramps, there's a good chance no one's ever told you what's actually causing them, and there's an even better chance you've never done the one thing that can stop them. Most people who deal with this assume it's a hydration problem. Drink more water, take magnesium, get more potassium, and look, none of that hurts, but it's not targeting what's actually happening in the muscle, so the cramps keep coming. What's actually happening is simpler than you think. And the fix is 2 minutes, done right before bed, no equipment, no pills, no complicated routine. A randomized trial, 80 adults over 55, 6 weeks, found that doing this one thing every night reduced nighttime leg cramps by 35%. Not over months, over 6 weeks. That's what this video is about. The muscle responsible, why it starts causing problems after 50, and exactly how to release it before it ruins another night's sleep. The muscle is the calf, specifically the two muscles that make up the calf. One runs deep, one sits on the surface. But for our purposes, you can just think of the calf as a unit. It's the most common site for nocturnal leg cramps, followed by the foot and the hamstring. And the reason it cramps at night has almost nothing to do with what you drank during the day. So let's talk about what sitting does to this muscle. When you're seated, the calf is held in a shortened position for hours. Knee bent, foot relaxed, calf not doing much, just sitting there in a compressed state. Most adults over 50 spend the majority of their day in that position. And over time, the muscle adapts. It accepts that shortened length as its new normal. Then you go to bed. When you lie on your back, your foot naturally falls outward and downward, toes pointing away from you. That position, the foot dropped, the toes extended, shortens the calf even further. So you've spent the whole day shortening it, and now you're sleeping in a position that shortens it more. And here's where the nerve part comes in. During sleep, nerve signals fire spontaneously. This is normal. It happens in everyone. But in most people, those signals go nowhere particularly damaging. In a muscle that's already sitting at the short end of its range, though, that involuntary signal triggers a contraction with nowhere to go. The muscle is already as short as it can get, so it seizes, and that's the cramp. Now, I want to be fair about the hydration piece because I dismissed it quickly and I should be more specific. Dehydration can contribute to cramping in some people. So can low magnesium in certain medical situations. So if you have underlying conditions, it's worth talking to your doctor about those. But for the majority of otherwise healthy adults over 50 who are dealing with regular nocturnal cramps, the research keeps pointing back to muscle mechanics, not nutrition. The muscle is short, the nerve fires, that's the trigger. This also explains why it gets worse as you get older. The tendons that attach the calf to the heel bone naturally shorten with age. Combine that with more time sitting, less daily movement, and the foot drop position you sleep in, and you've created exactly the conditions for the muscle to cramp at the worst possible time. The solution isn't to stretch the muscle occasionally or randomly, it's to lengthen it at exactly the right moment, right before you lie down, while you can still actively change the starting position. Give the muscle more room. Then when those nerves fire in the night, there's somewhere for the contraction to go without turning into a spasm. That's what the 2-minute routine does, and this is how you do it. 2 stretches, one for the calf, one for the hamstring, done back to back, both legs, right before you get into bed. Not after dinner, not while you're watching television. Immediately before you lie down, because that timing is what makes it work. The first stretch is the standing calf stretch. Find a wall, stand about an arm's length away from it, and place both hands flat against it at chest height. Step 1 foot back, about 2 to 3 feet behind the other. Keep both heels flat on the floor. Now lean gently forward into the wall, bending the front knee while keeping the back leg straight. You'll feel a pull in the calf of the back leg. That's the muscle lengthening. That's what you want. Hold it for 30 seconds. Don't bounce. Don't push into pain. Just a firm, steady pull. 30 seconds. Then switch legs. Other foot back. Same position. Another 30 seconds. The most common mistake here is letting the back heel come up. The moment that heel lifts, the stretch is gone. Keep it flat on the floor the whole time, even if it means leaning in less. The second stretch targets the hamstring, the muscle that runs up the back of the thigh. Sit on the edge of your bed. Straighten one leg out in front of you, heel resting on the floor. Keep your back tall and hinge forward from the hips. Not from the waist, from the hips. Just enough to feel a gentle pull behind the thigh. You don't need to reach for your toes. You don't need to fold in half. Just a light, controlled lean forward. Hold for 30 seconds, then the other leg. That's it. Standing calf stretch, both sides, 30 seconds each. Seated hamstring stretch, both sides, 30 seconds each, 2 minutes, then get into bed. Pay attention to this. The hamstring stretch matters more than people expect. The hamstring connects to the back of the knee, and when it's tight, it changes the mechanics of how the whole lower leg sits at rest, including how the calf loads when you're lying still. So don't skip it because your cramps are only in the calf. The two stretches work together. One thing I tell people when they first try this: do both legs every time, even if only one leg has been cramping. Tightness on one side often reflects tightness on the other, and addressing both prevents the problem from shifting rather than resolving. I remember a patient who'd been dealing with nightly calf cramps for close to 3 years. She'd tried quinine, the medication that used to be prescribed for this, and stopped because of the side effects. She'd tried magnesium, compression socks, keeping the sheets loose at the foot of the bed. Some things helped a little, nothing stopped it. When I explained the mechanism and showed her these two stretches, her response was essentially disbelief. It seemed too simple. She came back 6 weeks later and the cramps had dropped off almost entirely. She was not an unusual case. That's the thing. The simplicity of it is the point. You know what this is. The cramp doesn't ease in gently. It arrives without warning. Your calf seizes like a fist is squeezing it from the inside. You're bolt upright before you're even fully awake, heart hammering, the muscle locked in a contraction you can't control. You throw back the covers, try to stand, half stumble in the dark toward the bathroom floor because cold tile sometimes breaks it faster. You stand there at 2 a.m., jaw clenched, waiting for the muscle to let go. Then it does, slowly, and you're left with a calf that aches for the rest of the night. You go back to bed, but you don't go back to sleep. Not really. You lie there, tired and sore and frustrated, the muscles still tender, your mind now running. The alarm is in 4 hours, or 3, and you know what tomorrow's going to feel like. You've done this enough times to know exactly what tomorrow feels like. This is what years of interrupted sleep looks like in practice. Not a dramatic event, a grinding, recurring pattern that chips away at how rested you feel, how functional you are during the day, how much patience you have left. For the grandchild asking one more question, for the conversation with your spouse that needs more than you have. And for most people, it goes on for years before anyone explains what's actually causing it. It doesn't have to go that way, not after tonight. The stretching routine prevents the cramps, but you also need to know what to do if one hits before the stretching has had time to take effect, or on a night when you forget. Because there's a right way and a wrong way to respond to an active cramp, and most people do it wrong. The wrong instinct is to point your toes. It feels like that's what the muscle wants to complete the contraction. Don't. Pointing your toes shortens the calf further and intensifies the cramp. The right move is the opposite. Pull your toes back toward your shin. Bend the foot so the toes come toward you. This puts the calf in a stretch position, which directly counteracts the contraction. You can do this lying in bed. Grab your toes if you can reach them, or loop a towel around the ball of your foot and pull it gently toward you. Hold it until the cramp releases. Standing up also helps. The weight of the body bearing down through the leg forces the calf to lengthen. Take a few slow steps. The cramp should ease within a minute or two. After it passes, don't just lie back down and try to sleep immediately. Spend another minute doing a gentle standing calf stretch. Yes, at 2 a.m., to make sure the muscle isn't primed to cramp again in the same night. A single episode often triggers another one within the same sleep period if the muscle isn't addressed. So check this out. A case-control study of over 270 adults over 60 found that sedentary people had nearly 10 times the odds of getting nocturnal leg cramps. 10 times compared to people who were regularly active. So the 2-minute routine before bed matters enormously, but it works even better if you're also moving your body during the day. Even a short walk, even a few minutes of movement every hour if you're desk-bound. The goal is to keep the calf cycling through its full range rather than sitting shortened all day and expecting a stretch at bedtime to undo all of it. The stretch is the most important piece. The movement during the day makes it more effective. So there's really only one question left. Are you going to do the 2 minutes tonight or not? Because this is the part where people nod along, tell themselves they'll start tomorrow, and then wake up at 3 a.m. with their calf locked in a spasm again. Don't be that person. The stretch takes 2 minutes. You already know how to do it. The wall is right there. Do it tonight, before you get into bed. Both stretches, both legs, 30 seconds each. That's it. 6 weeks from now, if you're consistent, the research says you're looking at a 35% reduction in cramps. For many people, it's more. For some, it stops them entirely. The only way to find out which category you're in is to start. If this helped you, subscribe. There's more like this coming. And share this with someone who's been dealing with this for years without knowing the cause. Sometimes the simplest explanation is the one nobody thought to give them. Now go do the stretch. I'll see you in the next one.